Hello everyone, this is Terry with Futures.io, and it's my pleasure to welcome David Wydock and Patrick Rooney from Trading Technologies for today's extended Ask Me Anything webinar. If you have a question during the webinar, please feel free to type them into the questions box, and we'll do our best to answer them throughout the event. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, please do us a favor and give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the webinar. And as always, please feel free to share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us a lot. For trading news, events, and information, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and at Twitter using @Futures.io. Without further delay, I will hand it over to David and Patrick. Dave, you should get the pop-up to share your screen again.
Okay.
Looking good.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is David Wydock, and I'm on the product team here at Trading Technologies. And with me is Pat Rooney. And we're very excited to hear, all the questions that you guys have. We'll do our best to answer them. To give you a little background about myself, I was a trader for about 8 years. I primarily traded short-term interest rates, traded some energies at the end of my trading career, and then I made my way over to Trading Technologies, where, as I said previously, I'm now on the product team. I specialize on the automated trading tools, especially auto spreader and aggregator. So today, I was just going to give a brief overview of the auto spreader tool. I can go through any of the features and functionalities that people have questions on, but I was really just going to let you guys drive the conversation. So as you can see on my screen here, we're getting close to the end of the trading day, and I just wanted to be in a contract that I knew did not have a lot of trading volume so that I could control it. But what we have here is a basic one-to-one calendar spread, CME DY Jan 18, Feb 18. Our automated spreading tool, it allows you to use any number up to 50 legs to create a synthetic instrument. Once you create that synthetic instrument throughout the TT system, we treat that synthetic instrument as just as you would any other exchange instrument. So you're able to submit orders with that instrument, receive fills on that instrument, everything that you would with a normal exchange-supported instrument. So here on the right side of the screen, you'll see the config window. And as you can see, my leg 1 is DY Jan 18, my leg 2 is DY Feb 18. The ratios tell the auto spreader engine how many units of each leg make up a synthetic spread unit. So in this example, I'm just saying I need 1 of leg 1 and sell 1 of leg 2. The multiplier field, that allows you to weight the price of each leg. So in this basic example, we're not going to use any special weighting, so you just put a 1 and a -1. The pay up ticks, that allows you to specify before you send off your hedge order. So when we submit a spread order, what we do is we submit a quote order to the market. When that quote order gets filled, it'll go ahead and submit a hedge order to achieve a spread unit. The pay up ticks field allows you to be more aggressive or back off the hedge market, and the field here lets you specify how many ticks you'd like to change the hedge price before it goes into the market. The active quoting field, this allows you to specify quoting 1 or more legs. Quoting more legs, you're obviously going to try to achieve more execution by showing an active order in each leg. However, that could lead to an overfill. The minimum lean quantity field, what that does is that tells the engine how many in the leaning leg are required to quote against. So again, you can change that field so that auto spreader quotes a little more conservatively, so that you make sure that you don't miss your hedge. and then the queue holder orders field, that allows you to specify how many extra orders you want working to try to secure your position in queue. So if you had a 2 in here, then on leg 1 you would actually submit 3 quote orders, and what that would do is if the leaning market is moving away, your top quote order would move to the back of the queue. And what this does is this allows you to not constantly move the front orders back and forth, and that'll result in a better position in queue. So just from what I've gone over so far, does anyone have any questions on the basic functionalities of Auto Spreader?
Let's see. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to start typing them. How do you ensure that the TT desktop connects to a specific server, e.g. in London, and how to measure the latency to this server?
So in TT, we have edge servers all over the world, and that is the edge servers where the TT, whether you're running TTD, which is our desktop version, or TTW, which is our Chrome version. But we look at your location, and then we match your location to the closest edge server that's located to you. So we always ensure that you are hitting the closest edge server.
Is there a way to test your connection, your latency to that server?
Well, when you're actually trading, particularly with Auto Spreader, we do have hedge latencies that are exposed in the audit trail. And the audit trail will actually show you exactly what your hedge latency is with all of your spreading functionality.
So in the audit trail, we have we try to be as transparent as possible on the TT platform. And in the audit trail, we have 2 columns. One is called TT latency, and the other is called exchange latency. The TT latency measures the latency introduced by our components. So let's take Auto Spreader, for example. For a quote order, when the leaning market gets a price update, Auto Spreader receives that price update, then it reevaluates whether or not the quote order should change, and then it sends out the change. So the TT latency would measure the time that we received that price update to the time that we sent that order out on the wire. The exchange latency is the round trip time from when we send that order. So if we're sending a change to the exchange, so it's when we send that change until we get the acknowledgement back from the exchange that it's changed. So we do publish those in the audit trail for every single quote order update and every hedge add. So every time your quote order gets a fill, you're going to be sending a hedge order. So again, the TT latency would measure the time we receive the quote fill from the exchange until the time that we receive the new order add on the hedge leg. So those are 2 of the fields that where we expose latency for Auto Spreader.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Is there a way to see order flow for trades made in London that are not reported for 24 hours?
Native within our system, are they what are these trades? Are these like block orders that are just reported late then? I mean, I'm not sure what you're looking for here.
I'm not sure either. I'm assuming block trades is what it sounds like.
Well, what
she says ETFs, I think.
We don't support ETFs, but it does bring an opportunity to point out the fact we do have what we call a forever audit trail. Our audit trail actually goes, and our time in sales as well too actually goes back from the day you start trading until today. So my audit trail right now shows activity going back 2 years. So you can always go back and look at your historical records that way.
Okay. Next question is there any functionality in TT to convert Tradestation strategies to auto trading through TT?
No, I'm not familiar with that platform. How do they, are they written in a specific language, or is that local to that software? So I think we'd need a little more information on that.
It's written in easy language.
Yeah, I'm familiar with easy language, and there's not a native. We don't have a native widget that actually converts it. But honestly, I haven't looked at Tradestation in quite some time, but I'm fairly confident anything you can do in Tradestation you can reproduce on TT through ADL. But they're going to get, of course, I know that Tradestation supports equities, which we don't support at this time. But ADL would be your path to actually accomplish that, which is our Alpha Design Lab.
Okay.
And one more thing while you're looking over, with that, we do have a forum called TT Community on our external webpage that's essentially a lot of developers are on there all day long posting and answering questions about how to actually build algos and things like that. So that's something worth looking into.
Okay. It says TT stop order. My intention is for the stop order to be triggered when the quantity on the opposite inside market bid for the sell stop and ask for the buy stop falls below a certain level. Should I choose bid or ask in the TT stop parameters?
Let me pull it up and walk through, but it sounds like what your question is, if the ask in the counter market goes below a certain threshold, you want to aggress it in the marketplace. Is that what you're looking for with the stop? Yeah, you just set it to ask.
You set it to whatever side you're trying to monitor. So if you're submitting a buy order, you would be looking at the ask quantity.
Like I'm just waiting to see if he replies.
Yeah, David's showing that on the monitor right now, so you should be able to see that's something.
Should be green.
Okay, next question. How does TT handle exchange traded spreads? For instance, the bond complex.
How do they handle exchange traded spreads? They handle them like any other instrument. You're submitting an order on the exchange traded spread. If you get a fill on that order, you're going to receive a fill on the exchange traded spread as well as a fill on the legs. I'm not really sure if there's any more specifics to that question.
Yeah, you can view your position based off the exchange-defined spread as well as by the legs, whichever way you want. But I'm not. Yeah, I can't really decipher what they're looking for here entirely.
Hi, that looks like it was it. They said thanks. A follow-up to the previous question on the bid ask. He says, does it mean I have to change from bid to ask depending on the side of my position?
Yeah, there is no, like in 7X, we just had an opposite. In Xtrader, we had a selection called opposite where it just dynamically figured out which side to do it on, but no, we don't have that in quite yet. Right now, you do have to set that. But once you set it, you can save it as a template, and you can call it up, and like if you know it's a buy stop, you'll know you want your buy stop template. If it's a sell stop, you want your sell stop template. But we don't have the opposite parameter that we had in Xtrader, but we'll have that eventually.
Okay. Will it ever be made like it is in Xtrader where it's opposite?
I believe so. I don't have the roadmap directly in front of me, but I can't imagine we won't include that at some point in time. It's just something that's not where it is in the priority list. I can't tell you right now.
Okay.
And actually, it's worth pointing out you could build that yourself in ADL and build your own order type that will dynamically decipher if you're buying or selling. But that's that's a whole other bag of balls right there. So.
Okay, here's a question I have. How many how many legs could you? Is there a maximum number of legs you can create in each spread, or?
In the new platform, we increased the maximum amount of legs to 50.
Okay.
So I believe in the old platform, you could only create a spread with 10 legs, quoting 3 at a time. Now you can create a spread up to 50 legs, quoting as many as you would like.
Okay. Does the ADL order ticket algorithm require a pro version?
Using ADL does require a pro version, yes.
Okay.
But as far as order ticket, we do have a series of canned algos that are available without a pro version. Like the Titi canned order types, like Titi bracket, Titi OCO, and those types do not require a pro. Although Dave is looking at me questionably, but I don't believe they do.
Are you able?
If you're going to build one, okay.
Okay, I was going to ask, or I'm assuming you're able to manage or use AutoSpreader through the ADL.
Yes. Any ADL algo that you build, you can use a native exchange contract in that algo. You can use an AutoSpreader instrument in that algo, and ADL will treat them the same. If you're using an AutoSpreader instrument, it does allow you to extract more information out of the order itself. So if your algo wants to look at the number of hedges submitted, you can use that. You can track that in ADL. You can design some additional logic around that. So there is more information if you're using an AutoSpreader instrument, but you're definitely allowed to use an AutoSpreader instrument in any ADL algo that you use, yes.
Okay. What is the difference between AutoSpreader and AutoSpreader Reload?
So AutoSpreader itself is just the name that we have given our spreading tool. Using Reload, which is right here, this reload in a config, this allows you to set a default quantity for your reload. So right now I'm setting it to 3. And then if I go and I save, I can't save because I'm working orders. Try that again. I go and I save. Now you can see this MD Trader, the ladder over here all the way on the left, now has a 3 in the right text box, and that is my disclosed quantity. So reload is really just an iceberg type functionality for AutoSpreader. So if how I have it set up here right now, my total order quantity is 30. I want to disclose 3 at a time. You can see the reload. Oops, let me turn that off. The reload button is yellow, so that means reload is enabled. Whoops. And then when I go ahead and I submit, you can see that it's only going to show a 3 lot to the market. So every time I get filled on the 3, it'll go ahead and submit another 3 lot in that leg. Our we've designed our auto spreader in the TT platform to be a little more intelligent. So you can see that I still have 24 undisclosed. In the old version, as I'm getting filled on leg 1, leg 2 would constantly be decreasing and would be showing the same amount in leg 1. However, by doing that, you're not showing as much to the market, so you can't get filled. We've decided to leave it as a 3-lot to keep that place in queue until you get to undisclosed 0. Then they'll both decrease as either one is getting filled. So that's reload.
Perfect, thank you. Can you talk a bit about the spread matrix? What that looks like and how it works?
Sure. Yeah. The spread matrix is similar to how it was in our old platform. However, we have made some. We've added some new features and functionality. So like the old platform, you can go ahead and select Eurodollars, launch the spread matrix. You see it right now, it's in the staircase view. You can go ahead and choose legs and get rid of the serial. So we only have Sep, Dec, March, June showing. Go ahead and save the legs. And then you can go into the butterfly mode. So now instead of seeing it as staircase, you see it this way where we're showing all exchange listed spreads. You can see they're color coded by year. When you are highlighting over one of these cells, it'll highlight in the contract cell which legs make up that exchange traded spread.
Perfect, thank you. Are you able to, what kind of control do you have from the matrix?
They would have to
cancel at the top is what I'm wondering, like what can you control here?
So as you can see, when I click on a cell, so I'll just go over some of the other new functionalities. We've introduced this calendar view where you get to see a different matrix of each of the calendar spreads in this view. Another enhancement to the new platform is being able to launch auto spreaders from the spread matrix. So you can come in here, go to the auto spreader tab, select one of your predefined auto spreaders. Let me see what a good one would be. And then what this will do is it'll go ahead and create, all of these are now auto spreader configs. It uses one base config. So I can take this base DY config and I can launch it in spread matrix. And now what it did was it created a matrix using the same parameters of that base config. So that's I just wanted to point that out before going into the controls that you have from here. But now anytime you launch this is actually going to be routed through auto spreader using the same config that you launched the base spread matrix with. So from the spread matrix, you can enter an order. You can see your positions. Like if you get a position, it'll be highlighted in each of the leg markets. You can cancel orders. You can set up different properties so that when you're hovering, the floating order book will come up if you have an order here, and you can change orders, cancel orders, that kind of thing.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, let's see. Whenever I select a different order type from limit to TT stop, there's an annoying flyout panel popping up. Can this feature be disabled in future versions?
I think we're actually looking at doing that. Interesting you asked. Some tickets came in on that this week. Yeah, I believe we're looking at a way to actually disable that so it doesn't always pop up.
Okay, that was easy. Let's see. I know we, sorry, yes, Lucas, that was a yes. They are looking at changing it in the future to stop the pop-up. We looked at the matrix. Can we talk a little bit about the spread charts and how that works?
Sure. So any spread that you create, you can open a chart. Like I was saying earlier, our entire TT system treats an auto spreader instrument just like a regular exchange instrument. So almost anything you can do with an exchange instrument, you can do with auto spreader. Since it's calculating the prices, it takes a minute to populate the chart, but you can see that you can chart this just like you would any other instrument. You can enable chart trading on the chart itself, and all of the other analytical features that we have work for auto spreader as well.
Awesome. Let's see. Now, I know we don't have a setup to show today, but I'm assuming that there is mobile access to the auto spreader.
Yes, you can through our mobile platform. We don't allow creating new auto spreader configs, but as long as you have them created, you can manage any working orders. You can submit new orders. You can view the chart of a synthetic auto spreader instrument. So other than actually creating a new config, which would be pretty hard on a phone, all of the other functionality and the features that you can do with auto spreader, you can do on mobile.
Awesome. All right, let's see. Hi guys, are there any other questions? Is there a way to show open trade P&L in the MD Trader window?
Not at this time. It's something that's under consideration.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, I know we talked about the difference with ADL. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this question. Okay, so ADL requires a Pro version. Can you, I guess, kind of go over the difference between the Pro version and the cost and everything associated?
Yeah, I can talk about that. On our website, we actually post prices on it, and I'm gonna pull it up on. Well, I'll pull it up on David's screen real quick.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I just found it myself as well.
Well, whoops, hold on. All right, you see our webpage now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Go into pricing. Here's what kind of breaks down the difference. TT standard is $50 a month. You're capped at $1,000. You get an annual subscription that drops the cap down to $700 a month. And TT Pro is $400, capped at $1,800 $1,400 as an annual subscription. And the primary difference between the two is simply the fact that with the Pro license, you have the ability to create automated trading functionality to a great extent. So you can see with Pro on the right there, it says access to all features, including auto spreader, aggregator, Titi, Algo, SDK, and ADL.
Okay.
In a follow-up, Pat was right. The TT order types, all of the TT order types are available in non-Pro, in the standard version.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's that includes stuff like all these are basically algos right here, but they're order types that we've created: a TT bracket, a TT iceberg, if touched, OCO. Those are all with a tick. Those are all available on the non-Pro license. So the $50 a month package gets you that as well.
Okay, you just have to pay the Pro pricing to get access to ADL and the automated systems and strategies.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
If you wanted to create any of your own order types or automated entry exit logic, that would be done in ADL.
Okay.
Or in SDK.
All right, perfect. The TT Mobile does not show my position after entering a trade. Will you correct this?
Yeah, it certainly should. Did you enter a ticket on that? There's no reason TT Mobile should not show your position. It certainly should show your position. I traded on myself, and I don't have any problems with it. But
all right, I'm sending him a link to the support page.
Awesome, thank you, Terry.
Okay, yeah, just follow that link I just sent you. It's tradingtechnologies.com/contact, and you can contact tech support. Some time ago, I suggested a feature of auto liquidation and preventing further order placement upon reaching a certain negative P&L. Is this feature under consideration for future versions?
It's partially there right now. We've got from the back end, from the admin side, they've got an auto liquidate. Once your P&L hits a certain stop level, hits a certain level, essentially it'll just stop your trade and flatten you out. There's also a liquidate button on NBTrader. You can liquidate your positions anytime off of that. And also in ADL, we've got a P&L block. The P&L block will pause an algo once the P&L reaches a certain threshold as well. For disabling further trading, we don't really have anything like that. No. So I think we've got bits and pieces, most of that, not all of it. But I think if this is what I think is asked the question, I think the P&L block in ADL could be your solution because that's going to pause your algos once you hit a certain threshold.
Okay. Can you add the liquidate button to TT Mobile?
Can we? Yes. Will we? Yeah. That's something that's probably going to. I haven't looked at their dashboard in a while, but I believe that's something that is certainly under consideration. I don't know what the plan is, though. But when I hear about it, I'll let you know either through the Features.io forum or I'll tweet about it or something. So I'll look into that.
Perfect. Is there any plans for a global liquidate button to close all positions across all products?
I wouldn't say plans. There's certainly been talk about it. That's an extraordinarily difficult thing to do. You know, in a large spectrum, that's an extraordinarily difficult thing to do. Considering we've got a lot of traders who are trading amongst groups. You know, there could be seven, 8 people using the same account, trading exchanges across the globe, all over the place. So it's an exceedingly difficult thing to do. But it is something that we have looked at and spec'd out. I don't know of any immediate plans to do that, however.
Okay. What about trade sounds in the new TT?
We have some right now for fills and a few other actions, but we're working on an alert server that I believe should be out sometime in 2018 that will get you a little more specific. Are you talking the actual trader sounds that are MD trader based, which is a little bit more detailed?
It says alerts.
Alerts, yeah, no, the alerts thing is coming in time. And again, we have some right now. If you go into preferences, we do have a few sound alerts for orders and fills. But the detailed alerts manager we had in X-Trader, that's further down the road.
Is there any way to put custom sounds into this?
Not at this time, no.
Okay. Like, if there's any other questions, type them in. I've asked all the questions I've had. He says, and those for T and S.
Time and sales?
Yes, sounds for size above 50 for instance, or example.
I don't believe we have sound alerts in time. No, we don't have sound alerts in time and sales quite yet. For your own stuff, there is a way to go about it, but it would include, well, actually, through time and sales, you could probably put an alert block on it in ADL if you had ADL. If you had ADL, you could use an alert block and set up a sound alert that way, but you can't do it in the regular platform right now, no.
Okay.
You can just highlight. You can highlight when you have a trade over a certain quantity, but no sounds.
Okay. Yeah, it's something that I know in the platform I use alerts based on price. So when price gets to a certain area, it alerts me, and I know I need to start paying attention. Let's see. In the production version affected by in-flight order action as often as the simulated one. Let me try to rephrase it. Is the production version affected by in-flight order action as often as the simulated one?
No, our sim environment is, we have VMs running instead of actual servers. We don't have as many VMs as we do actual servers. So there's definitely, with our production system, we're going to have the best of the best running at all times. In the sim version, unfortunately, that's not always the case. So we do see some more issues in sim than we do in production, for sure.
Yeah, you have to remember, like with production, we've got things like automatic rollover, where essentially when a server starts to get busy, we can just shift all activity to another server, start parsing off to other servers. We don't really have that much architecture for the simulation environment, so that's why you might see a little more there.
Okay. He says, I noticed the prints are not the same in TT as in X-Trader. Are the feeds different? He's talking about the live.
The live.
Is he talking about the price format or just that prices are off?
He says on time and sales. He's noticing on time and sales that the prints are not the same between TT and X-Trader. He says the size are not the same at the, I guess, when it comes through times and sales.
Well, there's a couple things could be going on there. There could be, there's an automatic roll-up that's built into X-Trader a little bit, so maybe rolling up a little bit more, but I haven't really heard much about this.
It says it looks like TT is more compressed.
Okay, so, well, that's what you could be looking at then. Perhaps there's a roll-up a little more on TT, but even that kind of surprised me a little bit. I'll have to dig into that and try and post something for you. But I have heard some talk about that recently, so
Okay.
let me try and write that one down.
On the MP chart, is there the ability to split MP into RTH and overnight?
Not at this time, no. They're working towards that. The charts are getting a major overhaul here in the next month or so, I believe. And you'll have much more flexibility at that time, but right now, no.
Okay. And just to know for you, Patrick, his comment on the time and sales was on the ES and CL. Was where he?
Yeah, I'll look at that. And my guess is, yeah, we were rolling them up differently too. And I saw something on this last week or so, and I can't recall what's going on there. I'll get a solution. I'll post in the forum.
Okay. On MD Trader, is there ability to set order types to go with each DOM, NQ, ES, or different products? Now just able to star one, and it's the same for all.
Well,
Okay, I see what he's saying. He's wanting to be able to set different order types based on the DOM for that market. So you'd have one order type for NQ, one order type for ES.
If you have separate MD traders, then absolutely, yes. Or is he saying anytime he pulls up a product, it's going to automatically filter for that product, for that order type? We don't have that. You'd have to manually set it up and save your workspace with the order type set for that market.
Okay, so I could open 3 DOMs, change the order types, and save that workspace, and it'll keep it exactly that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you can map default order quantities that are based off of contract and things like that too, but you can't really do default order types, although I believe that's coming because we're working on user defaults. Those who have used Xtrader are familiar with user defaults, and user defaults are being worked on for TT, so that will likely give you some more flexibility as far as mapping order types to contracts and things too.
Okay. Why is Merrick Spectron in London not offering TT Desktop? They stick to Xtrader and are reluctant to start offering TT Desktop.
It's a very good question.
If you're listening, Merrick. No.
But I don't know. I don't know. I would have to talk. We'll have to talk to our London sales team about that. I'd love to have them on it, obviously, but that gets kind of touchy. I can talk to him and see what's going on, but whoever asked this question, you might want to send me a private message through the forum, and I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
Send to the Trading Tech account.
And just to demonstrate, on this MD Trader here, I added another tab with another product, and you can see for each tab, I can set the TT order type, and it remains. So on the second one, I have it set to limit. On the first one, I have it set to TT stop.
Okay. All right, if there's not any more questions, we're going to wrap it up here in the next minute or so. All right, there's a comment that the color scheme for charts in TT Mobile is not clear. Is there a way to sharpen it up?
Yeah, not really. It's funny. I talked to the lead mobile developer about that today a little bit. but no, you can't really configure that. But they are working that. Part of that comes with the back end change that's coming along soon.
Okay. In XTrader, there's a possibility to, or it is possible to display P&L in native currency. Will there be something like that in TT?
I got to look at that. I thought you could already do that. In TT, but I think it's I got to look at that. I'm not 100% certain. Maybe something that requires the admin to set it for you, but I know we have those currencies flowing through, so we should get that. Let me look into that. Oh yeah, we do have them.
Okay, perfect.
On the properties page, there's a setting for specific currency. Well, that's positions though. Yeah. If you have positions, maybe not P&L. Well, I'll check into P&L for you though.
Okay.
Show your P&L.
Can y'all just pull up the contact page real quick? All right, guys. If your question wasn't answered today, or you have a more technical question, this is a contact page. Please feel free to send your questions here. If you're watching this video later on YouTube and you weren't able to ask a question today, you can always contact Patrick and them directly via the contact page. Thank you today, Patrick and David, for the webinar, your time, answering some questions for us, and I hope everyone enjoyed the webinar.
Great. Thanks, Terry. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Take it easy.